Hi everyone, this is Laura with We Met Wirework and More, and today I am going to show you how to make this really sweet boho chic inspired floral project. Now I do have kits for purchase on my website, and they include everything that you need to make this project. So if you're at all interested, you will find the link to my website in the description after the video. I'm also offering the template that we'll be using today for upload as well. Now the materials that we need for this project are our heavy duty wire. It's a rebar wire. Once again, it's about a 16 gauge. We have our 19 gauge utility wire, and those are found at any hardware store. We have floral wire. We have floral tape, our basic flat nose pliers, our wire cutters, and a candle. Now I've gone ahead and I've pre-cut the floral wire to about 4 inches long. So 4 pieces, 4 inches long. And I use 4 flowers for this part of our project. And they can be any color, any size. You can purchase new, or you can just use whatever you have kicking around the house. So we're just heating up our wire. We're taking our silk flowers and we are poking said hot wire through the base of the flower. Sometimes this takes a couple tries, and just watch the end of the wire because it stays hot for a couple of moments there, so try not to burn yourself. All right. Alright, so our flowers are wired. Now we take our florist tape, and this is sticky, and the more you pull it, it releases the compound that makes it stick together. So we're stretching our floral tape the entire time we are wrapping our flowers. So stretching and twisting, and it tears off super easy. Okay, so we have our flowers wired. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to attach them to one another to make this sweet little grouping here. So taking one of our center flowers, one of our larger ones, we're going to take one of our smaller ones, and we are going to just put them together so that they're kind of staggered, so that the smaller one sits below this part of the larger flower, holding it together. We take our floral tape once again, and we wrap these two so that they're together. And then we take the next larger one and we do the same thing, but this one we're attaching higher. This one is actually above this part of this flower. This one was lower, this one is higher. Taking our floral tape once again, and we're wrapping, and you can go up it as well just to make sure it's good and secure. All right, spreading those apart a little bit so that we can work with the next flower. I bend down the one that we had just attached, and then we are taking our remaining flower and we are attaching it above this one. Taking our floral tape, oops, okay, so here's our little arrangement for our hoop. And as you can see, it's similar in size. So that we're just going to set off to the side. Now, in your kit, you're going to have this loop of wire. This one I've already kind of preformed, so it's more or less the size to fit the template. And then you're going to have a coil of wire to wrap the hoop in. You're going to have a coil of wire that is going to actually make our word. You're going to have a little hanger, like we see here on the top of the wreath. Now, for the sake of length for the video, I've gone ahead and I've preformed our word. So we're going to set this off to the side because we won't need it because of that, but we're going to bring in our template so that you can see how this sits. Now, it's not exact, as you will see, and that's part of the joy of handmade, right? So it's very loosely done, very loosely based on it, but it gives you a sense of the shape of the word. Now, it's really important when you're doing this that you make sure and you leave these tails long enough. I'm just going to play around with that for a second. Okay, and we'll just set it off to the side. So now we're taking our hoop and we are forming it so that it is the circumference of the template. And then we are taking our coil of wire, and this is the smaller 19 gauge wire. Stretching that out to its full length. I prefer to start where the wires cross over after we've done our curl. And I do use the end of the wire for this project so that we have enough to go all the way around. So I just take it and I do a couple of fairly tight wraps to secure it, and then I continue to wrap this for a couple of more wraps. And it's important that you remember this particular part because this is attaching our hanger. Now you can gauge whether you want it here or you want it here you know, it depends on how you want your project to hang. But we will be attaching our flowers to this particular part to disguise it, okay, to hide it. So now is the time to decide where you want your hanger. I'm going to do a couple of more and then I will attach it. Okay, now we simply put that there. We give a couple of fairly tight wraps in there so that it secures the hanger. And then a couple more wraps around the hoop, and then we can secure the other part, the other side of it. Okay, a couple of nice tight wraps, and there's our hanger. I'm going to continue to wrap this. Now I leave this tail of wire once I've done this wrap, as that's what we're going to use to attach our flowers. But first we need to attach our word. So laying your project together, this is our hanger, so that's going to be straight up and down. We have this here, you can just adjust it, adjust your word in whatever manner looks pleasing to you. And this part, once we've attached it, you can't take it apart because we will be wrapping these ends, these tails, and then cutting off the excess wire. So really give it a good look and make sure that it's where you want it to be. I like it this way, just a little bit closer to the right, and then you're not missing any of the word once you've attached your flowers. Okay, so you simply hold it, and this is pretty stiff wire, and just give it three good wraps. Now it looks like it has shortened this a little bit on me, but I'm still really liking it. Okay, so then we flip it over to the other side and do the same thing. Now I suppose you could probably do this in the smaller gauge wire, but I like how substantial this wire makes the word look. Okay, taking our wire cutters, we're just snipping those ends off close to our wrap. Doing that on both sides. And then just pressing it flat. Alright, so our word is attached. And you can play around with it, flatten it out. Alright, so now we're going to attach our flowers. So quite simply, laying it on the wire, on the hoop, wherever you think you want it. And this you can adjust. You can adjust it before you cut off this length of wire. So all I'm doing is I am just wrapping around this stem until I get to the top, going between your flowers. All right, I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to play with it, and that's the beauty of all of our flowers already being wired. Okay, I like that. I think it's really lovely. Okay, couple more good wraps. And then we cut that wire off. And you can see we've got a good tail here from where we put the flowers together, and you can cut that off now as well. So just give it a good snip here. And then that I would just squish up against our hoop. And now playing with our flowers. There we go. Really, really lovely project and super easy. There you go. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel. Please subscribe, hit that bell so that you get notifications, and check out my social media links, and I'll post all of that in the comments below. So once again, thanks so much. Take care.